Hello, you wonderful people. So for today's video, I'm going to talk about the trailer that just came out yesterday at the time of me recording this of I Am Not Okay With This. If you have not seen it already, I'll include a link to it in the description down below. But obviously, I really like how the trailer is structured, how it starts off very like, oh, this is kind of like a teenage coming of age type of story. But then like you get the twist of like, oh, and there's also a superhero, well, not superhero, but like a superpowered angle to it. I mean, granted, where they kind of start off with kind of like this cold opening of the trailer with her covered in blood and the cops and everything. I'm like, okay. And that right there kind of shows you, and there's stuff later on in the trailer that kind of hints to the fact is that this isn't just a straightforward, obviously, coming of age story, that there is a darker element to it as well. I talked about this before in other places, but the fact of the matter is I'm not that familiar with this series. I only know little bits here and there about the series simply because I have a friend who's read the comic book who talked to me about it a little while back. I've actually talked about this recently too. She kind of spoiled the ending for me. It wasn't even like, it was just a conversation, so it just ended up happening. But regardless, who knows, the TV show might not go down the same route, maybe, because obviously if you're unaware, the comic book that this is based on is made by the same person who made the comic book The End of the Effing World, which obviously that plays it out way differently than the comic book does. So I mean, some of the beats are the same, but there are quite a few differences, so I'm just assuming the same with this. Who knows? Just because I know the end of it too, it kind of makes sense, like this show kind of being darker, and I think that's definitely going to be interesting. Like obviously having that struggle of just dealing with a normal life, kind of feeling like she doesn't, you know, fit in. I mean, first there seems like obviously there's family issues because obviously her dad, you know, it seems like recently died, and the fact is, just based on that little scene we see of her mom and her sit beside each other, it just seems like things probably aren't so okay at home, just because maybe her mom's dealing with it in her own way, just like she's dealing with it in her own way. There's a complicated thing of like, obviously she has a friend named Stanley who is obviously super into her, but it's like he's just kind of a good friend to her, but maybe he doesn't really realize that, because like I said, just because of stuff I know about the comic book, and just even the trailer hints to it that her best friend, she definitely has a thing for her, and I think that's why she hates her boyfriend, her best friend's boyfriend. I mean, to be fair, it could just be, I mean, just from the little we saw in the trailer, it seems like he's kind of a douche, but you know, who knows. But like I said, just like struggling all of that with, especially her covered in blood and the police and everything, it makes me kind of get Carrie vibes, and that might be kind of a bit of an influence that we kind of see in the confines of the show. But like I said, more so than anything, it seems like it's focusing, you know, focusing on the fact is that she's just trying to be normal. And then she discovers she has superpowers, which I'm curious to kind of find out the full extent of what her powers are. Because at first I was wondering, like, when she kind of throws something and it breaks down that sign, I was like, does she have superhuman strength? But I guess it seems like it's all allocated to her telekinesis. So I guess when she threw it, her telekinesis kind of pushed it even further. So, but obviously, like, a lot of it is her not being able to control it, because it seems like it's tied to her emotions, which she's like, I don't try to get angry, but she's like, I get angry all the time. So it just might be like, it just has a lot of stuff she isn't dealing with properly, you know. So that the whole package of everything, it seems like it has a little everything. Has some comedy, has some drama, you know. Like I said, it's very reminiscent of The End of the Effing World. So I expect to kind of have some of that kind of, like I said, darker element to it. Like I said, because I don't know the full scope of everything and just know the entire story inside and out. I do know, like I said, the ending, but like I said, the journey still there is a mystery to me. So I'm very interested to kind of, you know, see what the show is all about. Obviously, these are just some of my thoughts. I'd love to get to know yours in the comments down below. Really, that's all I want to talk about. So the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day and goodbye.